Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Get Reelisms podcast. I am Adam Chase Rennie.
Yep, you are. And I am Christine Chen.
Fucking A.
Yes.
We're here, we're live.
We're still the same people.
Christine's going to take over the show now. I'm going to go take a nap.
Oh, I don't know what else to say. Remember when I take over the show? It ends in like 10 minutes. Or I try to end it.
Yeah, but you're excited to show us something.
Oh, no, I was just showing that right before this I was shooting videos for Get Reelisms actually. Because it's Friday.
Hell
and
yeah.
Christmas and all that, this, all those fun holidays where you have to buy stuff for people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fun times. Have you already bought all your Christmas stuff now?
No, not at all. I'm nowhere close to that. I'm actually really terrible about gifts because I get really excited and usually I'll like see something and I'll buy it months ahead of time, but then I can't wait till Christmas. So then I end up giving the person the gift like months before Christmas. That's just how I am. Yeah, I have no patience whatsoever. So I feel like a lot of people have gotten their Christmas gifts from me if I had any for them. So because it's just how
you're an early shopper. There's nothing wrong with that.
Or I just know is like, it's just I know what. Oh shit. I just get really excited and I just can't wait. That's all. It's not that
it is exciting.
Shopper. There's just sometimes you just see stuff and then you're like, oh, it's perfect for this person.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a gift giver for like very specific things for like if that's perfect for a person, I'd rather buy them even though it's not for a specific occasion. Does that make any sense? Yeah,
no, that makes 100% sense. I mean, I've bought birthday presents like almost a year in advance, like for my own family and all that. Are you hearing me, or is this gonna go to?
No,
shit?
That's good.
Okay,
that's good. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you're good.
Want to make sure we can have a conversation instead of just Christine.
Yes, I'm trying to adjust things. Okay.
Yeah, you are real finicky. How are we doing? Are we good?
I think we're good. Yes, because
what's wrong, first, Christine? Tell me.
Well, at first my battery on my phone was dying, so I had to like plug that in. Yes. So I think we're good now. But then like when I charged it, then the phone was at a weird angle, so I had to like readjust things. Just, framing is important and stuff.
Framing is everything. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, yeah. So, gifts, Black Friday. That's all I've been doing is make we have new stuff. You saw like the grip t-shirts and stuff. Yeah. So
the Black Friday t-shirts, getreelisms.com.
Yes. $20 for any of the t-shirts. And we've come up with like 4 different
How long is the sale going on, Christine?
It's technically supposed to only go on until this weekend, so until tomorrow. But I think we're gonna extend it to like at least Monday for Cyber Monday, and then we'll see how it goes. We might let it run for a few more days after, and then and then we might bring it back. We'll see, because there's the problem is to get some of these gifts before Christmas. There's a shipping time involved, and so we don't want to try to cut it off too early where people won't be able to get their gifts for Christmas, but then we can't like have it right before Christmas because then nobody's going to get that. It's not like you're going to get it immediately when you buy it the day before Christmas.
Yeah, so it's time to early shop because the whole month of December is going to be a shit show in terms of shipping.
Oh yeah, totally.
No one's going to a store. I mean, not as far as I know.
Yeah, no, it's all online. So
right.
That I'm aware of, at least. Yeah. So, but we have the I'm late to a safety meeting shirt, which I like a lot.
Cool.
And then we have the grip water shirt.
Yes.
Which is, we know what that is. or
But
people in the industry
for those
knows
who
what it
don't
is.
know, who watch this podcast, what does that mean, Christine?
Rip water is a nice term for beer.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess it was always called grip water because for some reason G&E or Grip and Electric, they always have alcohol on their truck. Like always.
That's not to say they drink while they work, but I mean, well, who knows? Maybe they do.
Who knows? Yeah. No, I don't. For the most part, I don't think people do that. But they always tend to have.
Yeah, I'm just trying to save you,
set.
Christine. You don't condone it.
I do not condone. You should not drink while you work.
There you go.
Yes, kids. So yeah, so we have that, and then we have a grip T-shirt. We have a few actually. I'm about to release like 4 more different shirts for different departments. So we've got like a camera team shirt. We're gonna have a hair and makeup shirt. We're gonna have I already said G&E. There's a scripty shirt, I believe I'm about to release. Yeah. That's all I've been doing my entire Thanksgiving / the last few days has been designing shirts. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're dedicating some time, and you're including every single department in your whole T-shirt arsenal. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because every department needs to be represented. Yeah,
that's right.
And I see my friend Brad's on the Instagrams, and I am now compelled to tell everybody about the awesome project I'm working on with him. So if you're interested in it.
No, I'm not interested. We only have about 45 minutes left of the podcast, Christine. You tell me.
It's a music video. I'm excited.
Yeah? What kind of music video? What are we doing? What are we shooting? What's the video about? You know?
It's like EDM feeling type music. Meets like a kind of cool Cuban ethnic beat. Called Body Snatchers. I was really happy because
like the movie?
I don't know. I didn't know about a movie called Body Snatchers. Brad,
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I doubt it's based off. It is weird. It's weird. Oh, okay. Yes, the music video is going to be quite weird. I don't think it's that weird. I think it's just extremely stylistic. So we're playing with. Well, it's not common where the artist and like the musician and like the filmmaker always have like completely in sync ideas in terms of style. But this time it was very much like that. Like when I listened to it, I immediately thought and had imagery of like BDSM, leather, late. Yes, I know.
No, it's great. I'm not laughing.
Orgy party.
Yeah.
And then
that's awesome.
Yeah, so like it's like style choice wise, and
sure.
And so it's been
very eclectic.
And we're kind of going. I think the hard part with something like this is it's all about art and design on a very no budget, basically. And we're going for like a steampunk Victorian Gothic look. So it's very specific when it comes to like the furniture or people's clothing. It's not stuff that people just automatically own, you know? And
right.
So when Brad told me, hey, we're going to get like a giant sexual orgy scene with a bunch of people during COVID, I was like, logistically, that's kind of hard. But I'm really excited to tackle this look. Brad says it's not related to the movie. But
yeah, I read that.
But yes, obviously he got the words from it, so that's cool. Yeah. But yeah, no, it'll be fun because I'll be one of the shooters. I'm trying to get my other friend to shoot with me. I'm probably going to play with kind of like there's some Titan tubes. There's this thing called a Titan tube I've been seeing on set a lot, and some friends here have a set of them that I'll rent. But it looks like a quasar, like a really thin light, but you can change color, temperature, and change like the light settings and stuff. It's really cool. So I can change like the light to go from red to blue to green to.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna really play with like the neon type feel.
It's the closest thing you'll hold to a lightsaber. For those of anyone
who
knows,
it is like a lightsaber. That is exactly what I would call it. It's like
it's the closest thing we can to become nerds, like fully formed nerds. To
I'll just have pictures of us doing lightsabers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Star Wars, yeah. Except it's like a bunch of people in lingerie with bunny ears and leather and chains and stuff.
That sounds like Christine's great Monday. Half naked people and on a film set with lightsabers.
Our conversations between Brad and I are great. And he's like, it's really hard to get so many people to commit. Is this normal? I was like, well, you're asking to make a big giant naked party during COVID. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but that's pretty difficult to do on a regular day versus on a COVID day.
Oh yeah,
a giant BDSM naked party during COVID.
It might work. Who knows?
No.
Sounds fun though. Sounds like a fun little music video. How long y'all gonna shoot?
We're gonna keep it to a day because there's going to be. It's gonna be two locations, but it's like two city locations. Like we're going from Baton Rouge to New Orleans, which I'm kind of like logistically, but sometimes the locations kind of trump scheduling. So there's this really badass bar in Baton Rouge called Hey, what is it, Brad? What's the bar called? Maybe you can type it out and then I can give them a shout out. But it's so cool. It's very speakeasy like, and like the furniture is very like Victorian looking, and these like brown, beautiful, chunky like leather couches. I don't know how to describe it. It's just the decor
vintage
is like unreal. Yeah, vintage. It's got that gothic weird.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that look. So it's called Hayride Scandal. Prohibition era. Yeah, it's a nod to the Prohibition era. Yeah. Hayride Scandal. Yeah.
Oh, so you gotta like knock on the door, say a code word and shit?
I don't know about that, but the look feels that way though. So
not that we were around during the speakeasy days, but I know the
history
and the lore of speakeasies. I think it's like in New York, especially like if anybody's interested, Boardwalk Empire has an amazing scene. It was like the first episode. It's on the pilot episode that Scorsese showed. Oh. And in the very beginning, he when he goes into the restaurant for the first time, you'll see a whole bunch of people in a line right outside around the corner. And then he sees them and they all knock on the door. The little thing opens up, is like password. And it's just like pineapple. And you walk in and shit, So
that's cool. Hey, that's
speakeasies were.
That's really cool. It makes me want to do something. Now I'm inspired. Hey, Brad, is there a door there that does that? It's a speakeasy, but it's next door to.
You know what? Even being cool is like if you just open it, there's like a chain lock right there, like how old apartments have and stuff like that. You can just have that, just have like a cracked, and then like what's the password, and then.
I love it.
Saving
I love that. That could be a really fun like start. Just a password, and then you go into, and the password is the name of the song. Whoa.
There you go.
Now my brain is like
easy peasy.
And this is all because of you. Yeah.
Who? Me?
Yeah, because this wasn't originally my idea.
I just watched too many movies and I'm lazy. And I love a good scene. You know how it is. I can talk up and down about a movie. I've watched a ton of amazing movies lately too. But we don't have to get into it. Yours is more important than whatever the fuck Adam has to do. So tell me more about this music video thing.
We're gonna do it in one day. It's going to involve two locations, one in Baton Rouge and one in New Orleans. Although I still am trying to convince Brad to figure out how to do it in one location because we know how location moves are, let alone
They're
location
tough.
move that's an hour and a half away.
That's really tough.
No kidding. Or it's maybe it's more 45 minutes away, but it's tough. You know how location and everybody's like, I'm lost. Yeah.
But you have to like give like so much time in advance for everybody to show up. G&E, like, you know, have to give them an extra half an hour to park and
the only reason why I think this could possibly work is it's so small in terms of the crew. It's basically going to be like 3 people.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Me with a camera.
That makes sense for a music video.
Camera. Exactly. And then hair and makeup, and
relax. We're on a podcast. No one watches this.
So and then the people are kind of split up where like not that many people are actually traveling between Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Most of the people are from New Orleans. So so it's kind of like we have 2 groups of people with separate settings. So it's really just like the main people traveling. So that's why I think maybe that's doable. But for the most part, this is like a big no-no in filmmaking, is these such a big location move. I already freak out when there's a location move that's like 10 minutes away because it's a whole thing. Or like on the set for room 2 or 3, literally the location move is 6th floor to the basement. It was a whole thing. I heard so many people bitching. It was not even funny. And that is from in the same building, going from 6th floor to the basement.
Nice. Hell yeah. Sounds like a crazy ass warehouse.
It was, well, the basement was difficult. And the bitching was because the basement is a difficult place to set up in terms of like lighting and stuff like that. But yeah, but can you imagine if we're getting like so much bitching from just a location move from upstairs to downstairs? What it'll be like if it was a entire company move from, from city to city.
That's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. But I mean, if I know Christine only does impossible tasks.
Not by choice.
That's how she rolls. It's like, oh, is it impossible? Yeah, Christine, we're gonna have to move a mountain. What? Yeah, we're gonna have to company move a mountain, and we're gonna need to bring it to the Western Hemisphere. Oh, okay. Hey, art department. Do you think we can move it a mountain in like 20 minutes? That'd be great.
Adam was not on room 2 or 3. Sadly, he was.
No, I wish I was, but Christine, I think, forgot to invite me. I'm not sure.
I couldn't. I had to use only local people.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Unless they were AD teams. So.
Yeah, and I'm just giving her shit. Yeah, I'm literally in Austin, so I'm way too fucking far away to even help out Christine. She's in a completely different state than I am, so it's tough. But I do wish I hope I can work with you again.
And there was a set though you could have worked with me, but you already booked. So yeah.
Oh, the PA thing.
Yeah, December.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, but I mean, too busy. Too bad that Daddy has to make some money.
I know.
Sorry.
Yeah, that one is going to be crazy. So, it's like a reenactment of the Alamo, basically.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we have. The last I checked, it was like 140 background. I feel like we're doing 1917.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm actually extremely excited because it's not common, especially right now during COVID times. Everybody's trying to minimize the number of people that are on this film set. This is stupid how many people are going to this film set. So that's why I'm there. I'm actually not the AD. My friend Saul is the AD, and I'm the second, so I'll be wrangling all the background talent type thing.
The same Saul that I've worked with?
Fugitive
oh!
Yep. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Say hi to him for me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we had a production meeting really early this morning, and we're like, so, like, how many times are people going to be shot up? And, like, because there's going to be, like, bayonets, and then squibs for people being shot, a bunch of dead people, and yeah, the Battle of the Alamo, or like I don't know if it's which particular part of it, but it's like this. It has stuff to do with the marching, and then like they get I don't know which I I can't tell you exactly which part of it. I think it doesn't take place right outside the Alamo. It's like one of the battles that led to like that.
No, but I get the idea. It's pretty war-esque type
Yeah,
of.
it's Texas versus yeah.
It's nice. That's cool.
But they have a bunch of, I think part of it is reenactors who do this, usually, and then like actual background actors, because they have the reenactors already have costumes and stuff that they're going to bring, and then the background that they got supplemental stuff. So yeah, we're gonna have a giant ass crane, which I'm really excited about, like a hydroscope type, like a real like sweet crane.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Holy shit! Cool.
Yeah. So I'm really stoked about that. Yeah, it's just logistics, man, which should be interesting. I have not worked with that many people from an AD perspective. Usually our sets, there's lots of cast and crew, maybe 20 to 30, but not like all at once, 100 and something, I've been on a set that had that many, but I was only a PA. It was one of my first union sets, actually. And that's when we dealt with. But there were so many people. There were PAs dedicated to just wrangling background. Like the second couldn't even handle any of that because he was too busy like handling all the other crap that was happening.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this will be good. This is a good practice.
It will be. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because hopefully after this, and I'll be able to do more stuff that's like bigger with like a crap load of people. I think it'll be fun. Yeah.
I mean, you're already a whiz to begin with, so this is just practice.
Practice is good though. I like.
Practice is great. I mean, fucking Babe Ruth only practice.
Yeah. And this is like. Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, and the thing is, like every set's different, and so it's cool to. But it's cool to be out of your comfort zone. That's the only way you can grow. So, what's something that you haven't done that you want to do very badly, like set-wise?
Like, what do you mean?
Like a kind of set that you're wanting. Like I kind of fulfilled one of mine, which was work on a horror film. I never have done that before. I now have. So is there something that you are like dying to do? As art, because you've done a Western.
Yes.
So, as the sole art director on that,
yes,
which is
I barely made it by the skin of my teeth.
That's crazy. That's so cool that was like one of your first ones in terms of as a full like a period piece is difficult. And
I was a nervous wreck. I got maybe about an hour and a half worth of sleep, but it was a really fun set. I had a lot of. I mean, I always say like, yeah, no, I felt like I was trash on that set because like I was a complete horseshit art department guy, because all I did was set dressing jobs. And the fact that Peyton was so fucking awesome to let me do art department and kind of do art department the way I saw it, because every idea that I brought up to her, I was like, oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? And she was like, yeah, no, let's do it. Do it. Can
you give some examples? Like, so this is a good segue because we're kind of talking about period pieces, and because the one I'm about to do is period. So yeah, talk about like what does it take to get prepared for a period piece when it comes to art? Because this is very similar actually, because with Brad's piece, it's not period, it's a whole world that we're creating,
Yeah.
So like you have to bring in all the art essentially. So what is that like when you have to bring in, like you can't just be like, hey, can you bring in your Stetson and like some 1800s clothing that's in your closet? Like you have to plan for this shit,
Yeah, I mean, well, I always hold the idea that if you're not asking enough questions, you're not prepared. Yeah. Like I 100% believe that if you are not asking questions, you just act like everything's all hunky dory, we're all good and gravy, Peyton and I were on the phone pretty much every day. Like we were talking, even just ranting bullshit. Like we still were on the phone, and I had art department questions, and then the questions I did have, we were able to solve them like right then and there, or the questions she couldn't answer, like for a future thing, we would just deal with it like either the next day or we would just loop back around to it. So either way, like first and foremost, you have to understand, read the script and ask the questions you got to ask.
Yeah.
Because it's very possible that you will get lost and you'll be ill prepared. And then the day that you show up,
right,
you're going to forget shit. Something's going to get lost through the cracks. And because go ahead.
I was gonna say, so how do you prepare for something? Because obviously this is not something you could be like, oh shit, I forgot that. Let's just buy it at Walmart.
So how it works is, so as you know, everything's by a shot list. Yeah. So you ideally want a shot list well in advance, just so like, you have a kind of a full understanding, but I didn't really get that luxury with Peyton's set. Okay. Not saying that she couldn't do it or one person couldn't do it. It was just like we were on a day-to-day basis when it came to scheduling and shots and all that. So I had to have a check-in with her every single day. And as base of what I see on the script, whatever scene we were going to shoot, I knew that, okay, this scene only has this list of props. And then this other scene, I know in this location has that many props. So it's a process of like, okay, if I'm going to shoot this scene or set this scene up, I have to have an X amount of time so I can set up for the next scene, that we're going to shoot right after lunch or whatever. So, it's all a process of like preparation and going through your script. And I like to draw lines and highlight every single prop and every single set piece, especially if it's quintessential in the story. Like there's this one prop that was quintessential. And
which prop was that?
It was like a glass vase. It was like a tiny little glass vase.
I remember that thing. Where'd you find it?
It was at the antique store in Blanco. So Peyton wanted like a bigger thing. And I had this suggestion of, well, if we were going to go bigger, like this is going to be mobile, because in the story, like there's these girls who are trying to escape from, this sheriff who's trying to take over their house because the dad's gone or whatever. And so they have to pack up and leave. So you want the most like the smallest things that doesn't require, like, it's not like a heavy item and something that's believable. You don't want to carry like a vase that's the size of a Coke bottle. Best to have like a small little thing, because in the event of it does get dropped, and sure enough, that prop was dropped probably about 7,000 times, including myself.
Did you have a backup?
No, because it's antique.
Oh gosh.
That was a thing. It was an antique thing, so I couldn't buy another one of those. So we had to really fucking be careful, and like,
and you weren't.
Thank God. No, it broke. The set was shot, and I was fired. And Christine even knew that too.
That's not true.
Yeah. So it was a fun set, but the preparation behind it is everything. And that's the only, I mean, like, if I ever give advice, which by the way, no one should ever follow my advice. They should never listen to me.
That's not true.
They should listen to Christine Chen, not Adam Chase Rennie.
That's not true at all.
But I will say that preparation goes such a long way. And as a guy who is a avid procrastinator, like I am like the type of college student that I'm going to do the assignment the day of, like the hour before class.
Work for this.
I am going to complete the thing. And, and I couldn't. And then once I started working retail, I learned like responsibilities and preparation and all this stuff. So I kind of kicked that habit out. I still am a procrastinator, especially if it's something I don't want to do. If it's something I don't want to do, I'm going to procrastinate it. But luckily, I've only worked on these sets that I've truly, really loved, that I really enjoy doing. Even the commercials that I worked on as a set dresser, I still had a good time doing it. Like, it was more labor intensive, some sets, but there's some sets where I can use my imagination. And that's fucking dope. And this set that I worked on this last set that I worked on with Peyton,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she gave me that room to basically do that, you know, and I couldn't be more grateful that Peyton was, you know, so allowing and so carefree is the wrong word. I would say
She trusted
relaxed.
you. She trusted you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's trust. Yeah.
Sure.
Nobody likes to be micromanaged.
No,
I mean,
and
I say that, and
was
I always do it sometimes.
yeah. No, Christine's the biggest with micromanaging, but
I don't mean to.
it's okay. But yeah, no, Peyton was very much not that. She was very much like, well, no. There were some things where I will say like, oh, I haven't finished that yet, and she was like, what the fuck, you know? But no, there's a few times where it was like, yeah, no, I trust you. You got this. You know, I'm sure you'll make this work somehow. And she also knows how well I am with time management, thanks to Kellie Penna. Because she's the one who literally taught me, like, if you're just standing around literally doing nothing, something's like wrong, there's no there's no reason to think about other scenes you can work on or clean up or even like reset something that you could easily do that you don't need to be there for, you know?
Right.
So if I can leave like a couple of things with a PA while I'm setting up the next scene across the way, I can just do that. It'll take me 45 minutes. You know, I'd much rather have that than the whole Genie department, the production team staring at me when I'm trying to fucking set dress everything. You know, it's not helpful, and it doesn't work. It truly doesn't work. So you really have to. And also the other thing, when you're working on these small independent sets, no one's going to be there to remind you. No one's going to be there to help you out. Well, no, that's not true. There's some who might, if you ask for help. But when it comes to time management and the preparation that you have to have, if you're the only one in your department, you're gonna have to wear all the hats. You're gonna have to, you know, I was prop master, set dresser, art director all at the same time, you know, and the other art department positions that I can't remember right now. But yeah, it was a process of like, okay, do I have all these pieces? Yes. No, then let's work on everything, you know? Oh, and the other thing is creating an inventory list. I fucking hate inventory. But after that set, I am such a Nazi when it comes to my props and anything that is art department. Like since that set, I've always had a sheet of like an inventory sheet of everything. I'm a psychopath. And to the point where it's almost like it feels like it's unnecessary, but I don't. I think
it's very necessary, especially when you're spanning multiple days. That's the biggest thing. Like, because it's multiple days and it's different scenes and they're not shot in order. Obviously, you have different days, so it's like really difficult to keep all that like in line for sure. Like, I'm already going to be making a giant list. I was telling Brad, I had a giant spreadsheet of shit I'm going to buy in return on Amazon, and it's giant, and it's like, because you don't know how it's going to show up, you know, so you need options. And then you have let's say you have like 10 different people, all of them have 3 options. That's really like 30 different things you need to buy, and then like it just takes one fuck up to make it look terrible. Like
all it takes is one. That's the fucked up part. It only takes one person for
a period piece.
Especially for a period piece, if you forget like one prop, you kind of you know, and it's not just art department either, you know.
But I think especially in period pieces, because like at least if you're in a modern, you know, set, you could be like, well, somebody run to Target right now and buy something, you know. You cannot do that with anything that's extremely stylistic or has a period piece related or anything. You just cannot. Like, it doesn't. You can't just go to Walmart and buy that specific item.
You can't just phone it in.
Maybe you could create it. You know, that's possible, but like that takes time.
I am. So that's the other thing I learned on Peyton's set. I am not crafty. I thought I was. I thought I can make something. I'm like, oh, look good. And turns out, no, it doesn't. I had to make these Marshall badges. And because it was for a scene for like a whole bunch of actors that we had who were supposed to portray marshals, Texas Marshals. And I tried making these badges. Like I went on YouTube. It took me a solid 6 days to make these things, and I kept fucking up. Like
they were made out of what were they made out of? It was like foam,
so I made mine out of styrofoam and wood. So I even cut wood. Like I cut wood specifically, but the measurement wasn't right and everything. It was just it was complete garbage. And we ended up scrapping it anyways. But you just you learn what your strengths are, and you learn where your weaknesses are. And I am not as crafty as many art department people who I've worked with. They're very crafty. They can make shit. Like Kelly can fucking make a collage and like build a fucking house if she wanted to, and she can fucking rip. She can. But do
there's
whatever.
Always going to be somebody who's better though. Like I've just been on like 2 sets where the art department was unreal, built a house pretty much, like built.
And that's crazy.
And so, are you planning on taking any sort of supplemental classes or practicing your own time? Like what's going to help you become craftier or help you, or are you just going to make sure that the next time you have something like that, you like bring somebody on that is crafty?
So it's probably a little bit of column A, column B. I want to definitely probably bring someone who is a little more talented than I am, because you can practice painting every single day, Christine. That doesn't mean you're going to become Picasso next year. You know what I mean? So I can practice my crafting literally today till the day is long. It could still look like absolute horseshit, garbage piece of shit. It still will look bad. So I have to accept my reality and say, okay, well, I can't do this and I suck at this. I'd rather light myself on fire than do this. And I'm going to hire somebody who is actually an expert on this and knows art department and knows how to be crafty, and sometimes like I'll even text Kelly and she would give me a great fucking idea and it literally took her 0 to no effort. You know what I mean? So I can't be as like I'm very creative. If I put my mind to it, I can do it. And I've worked construction before. I built sets and I've done all that, and I know how to do lots of things, but there's just some things like when it comes to like making a fucking collage or something, I'm just like, God damn it. I can't do this shit at all. Yeah. So there's no defeat in hiring somebody else, but it sucks when you're working on a set that doesn't qualify a budget to bring on another set of hands. Totally. So then I'm left to my own devices. Now I have no choice. But to be crafty. And so
So I'm going to be art on this music video.
Wow, good for you. Awesome.
In addition to shooting it and a bunch of other stuff. So I totally get your like I don't know. It's either gonna be great or it's gonna be like crazy.
Yeah. And that's 100% how I feel every single project that I'm on. Because actually, no, every single I guess this is my self-esteem issue. I don't know, but I definitely walk into a project and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna really fuck this up. Like they're not gonna want to hire me by the end of this.
I feel like every set's like that though. Like I go on to sets.
But I have worked on those sets. I have worked on those sets where I did not get a phone call. Like after that set, like I definitely worked on a set where like I heard no fucking peep from them. And I 100% know they're like, yeah, this Adam kid is, no, never again.
That's what you think though. I don't know if that's entirely the case. You never know, But
I don't know. But I just had that feeling like, because every time I would bring something to the table, it was one of the things where it was like, oh, this is all you can do. It's just like, well, you didn't give me time and I only had this much money.
Right.
and you gave me about 3 hours to work on this with no preparation, and you kind of dropped this on me all of a sudden. And then they're kind of looking at me like, I kind of seen better, And it's just like, yeah, I want to, by the way, you come any closer to me, I'm going to take my pair of scissors and jab it in your eye. You fucking imbecile. I dare you. I dare you to talk shit, Yeah,
well, people don't know, and that's the difficulty of working with directors or producers who haven't done or have perspective as to how it works. I just think it's magic.
And I think it's a lot of it's in my head. And I think you're right. I think a lot of it is in my head. And I do think a lot of it is like me just projecting. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, I don't know if they were thinking that, Adam. I think you're just kind of being harsh on yourself. But at the same time, I also don't want to be that idiot who thinks it's like, no, they love me. Just that sheer arrogance where they're just like, no, dude, you fucked up royally. And there's people like that who are like, I think I did pretty good. I think I'm the best around. And it's just like the level of confidence that you have to have is fucking insane. I don't know if I will ever become that, because I think I just like, I know I won't be able to become an expert like that unless it's like unless it's like Star Wars. You can ask me any random question about Star Wars, I'll answer it. Like that's a no-brainer. But when it comes to like construction on a period piece,
right?
You know what I mean? It's just like, I can do it, but I'm gonna need help from some way, shape, or form. And I have had help for sure, but not in the sense where I got another person in the art department to help me out. I just
right. You had an extra set of PA hands, maybe. That's
it. And by the way, these PAs do not know construction and do not know art department. So I literally have to sort of reinvent the wheel here and really like try to convey what I need.
Yeah.
And then also follow through with what the director wants me to do, or art director wants me to do, whatever. So it all can go either way, but most of my experiences have been pretty much like, I need to prepare, I need to make sure this is all working. If not, then everything's screwed and let's set everything on fire.
Yeah. No, it's just that's the biggest thing. I think that's a great advice is that this, if you don't have a budget, then you need time.
Yes.
Because you need a prep.
And if you have a lot of more time, oh my gosh, it's day and night with the quality of how it will look on the other side when picture's up. Once picture's up, once you start seeing everything in frame, that's when that's the clear indicator of like, oh, okay, this is good. Because to the naked eye, it always looks like shit, right? It always looks like garbage until you see it in front of camera, through a red or an ARRI Alexa, and it just looks so fucking crisp and clean and beautiful and colorful and fucking gorgeous. You want it,
Well, what's crazy is that it's deceiving, until you see it in front of the camera. Because there's stuff that I've seen, I'm like, is that really gonna play? It looks like a piece of shit. It looks like a cardboard. Yeah. And then magically you put it in front of the camera, and you're like, believable.
And it looks like it's fresh from like a major motion picture period piece. It looks crazy. Yeah. No, I love that. And so that's why I've shifted my idea of like, instead of making it perfect, make it picture perfect.
Picture perfect. That's great. Yeah. Make it picture perfect.
Yeah. So if it's being hung by like toenails and fucking goddamn like dental floss, fuck it. As long as it'll look great on camera, then fuck it. Who cares?
Exactly. It doesn't matter. Nobody knows what's being held on by.
But I also understand the other side of that, where you do put in the work and it's not quite as what you thought it would be. And people are like, no, it looks great. It looks great. It looks awesome. It looks fun. I still have that thing in my head. It's like, no, if I had another fucking 2 more days, another 48 hours, it would have been like a Stanley Kubrick-esque set. I would make this bitch look grand, you know?
I feel like that's every filmmaker though, in every department.
That's true.
Not just art. Like everybody is always like, hey, if I had just a little bit more time, it would look amazing. But it's just compromise all around, you know?
But you also have to learn to just not settle for less, but to understand where everything is in motion. You know what I mean? Because maybe sometimes like maybe there's scenes where art department will put in so much time and then at the last minute the scene is cut or something. You know? And that happened to me before too, where I literally put in like a whole day process of like making this dumb fucking college dorm just for somebody to just be like, nah. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to set this set on fire. Fuck this. You know? No, but it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, Adam, this is the most important thing in this fucking planet. If this doesn't set, Adam, you're done. The film industry and you, done.
Are done.
once the time comes in, Christine, then like, oh yeah, Adam, we cut it.
Oh, that's
I'm like,
the worst.
I'm going to throw my toolkit at somebody's face.
Oh, yeah. That happens so much, though. Or
but
like,
you just have to learn to adapt and roll with it.
Right, or you spend like a whole time creating this whole universe, and then you see like
I can't even imagine. Yeah,
a corner of it, you know. Yeah.
There was one story I read. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's why Kelly is always like, "Can I see what you're gonna see first?" And then she dresses. Yeah, which freaks out a lot of beginner filmmakers because they're like, "No, you have to set the whole thing." And it's like, no. What do you want to see? I just need to dress what's going to be seen because why dress the other side if we're not going to see that, you know? So
yeah, such a waste of time. Yeah, and that's from a brilliant person in art department. I have still way too much. I have so much time before I'm even on the same level as Kelly. You know, she's on Mount Olympus. I'm still in fucking like Oakland. You know, like I'm in the sewer dumps.
Oh no, it's just
soaring.
It's just experience. That's
and it is. It's 100% experience. But I read somewhere, it was like an interview with Rick Baker. He's a special effects makeup artist. He did American Werewolf in London, and he's done a whole bunch of things. And he said he did. He had to leave. He said there's sometimes where there's just things that are just way too out of your control. And Tim Burton back in 2001, I don't know if you remember this. It was a major flop, but Tim Burton made a remake of Planet of the Apes back in 2001. Okay. And it had Marky Mark in it. It has Mark Wahlberg playing in the lead main role. And Rick Baker had to make about like 258 masks, like monkey masks. Yeah. And just 200, like that's just too fucking much. And he's also like, he was like reaching his 60s by that time. So it was like he couldn't stand on his feet for like longer than like 4 hours at a time or 5 hours at a time before, you know. So he had to like he had to do this weird fucking process of like, well, who is going to be on camera the closest? Yep. Like if there's somebody who's going to be like miles away, I don't need to put on the little tiny fiber monkey hairs on the mask. I can just
see it.
Yeah, just slap some like makeup on and, you know, have it in a distance while everybody up who's closer to the camera are going to wear the good quality monkey suits, you know? And so you're right. Eric Kelly is right in that instance. You only want to do what the camera's going to see in that moment because
we're going to be wasting a lot of time and effort.
The next 6 or 7 setups, G&E is going to need another half an hour to set up lights and all this. So, and you know, more times than not, art department doesn't really take that much time if you know what you're doing.
Right.
If you know, like, where everything's going to be set up in that scene, it shouldn't take that long. Mm-hmm. But I have been on sets where, like, the director just couldn't really make up their mind or the art director couldn't really make up their mind. Yeah. And that just sort of happens, and it's okay. You know, shit like that happens, and you learn to roll with it. But Yeah, that's what I typically see in a quote unquote professional film set.
Yeah.
Where, you only worry about what the shot is first and then move on to the next setup later,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Saves so much. I mean, that has to do with, remember one of the first podcasts we had where it's different. It wasn't art, but it was makeup. And Roxy said she didn't know, and she gave everybody like full on 100% like looks, including the background. And
yeah, that's right.
That she didn't see any half of them.
Yeah, and so she was like, I spent 4.5 hours putting makeup on these people just for only a quarter of them to show up on camera, which I think is pretty fucking funny. But yeah, it's another great lesson where it's just like, well, fuck, why did I waste my time? And then you always now, like, you go back and just say, well, what do you want to see?
Yeah.
And that's weird that directors can't answer that question either. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people who just legit can't answer like simple set questions. But I guess, like, in retrospect, it's difficult when you're a writer and a director and you're just trying to convey everything from paper to be in real life, essentially, quote unquote, real life. So yeah, I can only assume the amount of difficulty, and you have to be such an articulate, intellectual human being to understand the script from beginning to end and end to the beginning. You have to understand it like the back of your hand. And I've definitely worked with those just directors in general that kind of don't really understand what they want. And that can be frustrating.
It's like you have one job. One job is to be decisive.
You have one job.
Make up your mind.
And we had all this time too, by the way. And I asked you in the beginning of the day, hey man, I have a couple of ideas. What do you think? Yeah. We'll take care of it. Okay, great. Then 3 hours later, hey man, remember that thing I told you about? Yeah. We'll take care of it. Then come to the shot. Then you're like, oh, Adam, what happened to the? And then I'm like, I literally told your bitch ass this morning that we couldn't do X, Y, and Z if I didn't get, something, or if I couldn't do this because you asked me to be here when I could have been there, and I'm just standing here like a schmuck doing nothing, when I could have just had a PA reset everything for me, and I'm just standing there like a bump on a log.
Yeah, it's just that's just how it goes, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's where and
you're always going to disappoint somebody too. Yeah. And you're always going to disappoint somebody. So I'd rather be in the right than be in the wrong, I guess, in that instance, because I'm only doing what my job and my job responsibilities are. So I'm only going to follow with what that is and just doing the right thing, like Spike Lee, always just do the right thing no matter what. So yeah, I'm just trying to do the right thing. But I mean, there's some sets, and that was the set that I just told you about was from same people who were like, yeah, I don't know. They never called me. They never texted me, nothing. So I'm like 100% certain they want nothing to do with me, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I can't change somebody else's mind, but I like to change if I was in the wrong. And there's definitely a few instances where I was in the wrong. But I just feel like there's certain sets
my thing is freezing real quick. I think the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. I think it's back to working again. I'm having some connection issues, I think. So,
yeah.
No, that's I was telling Brad, like, this is why, like, I have to buy everything so in advance. So I have to buy like 10 things of the same, just to have options, just because you can't trust people. And when people say they've got it handled, you have to take that with a grain of salt.
They don't got it handled. And I can't stand when people are like, oh yeah, no problem, dude. Yeah, I'll have it ready for you the first day.
everything so in advance. So I could buy like 10 things of the same, just to have options. Just because we can't trust people. Okay, I think we're lagging.
We are. This is crazy. What's going on? Wait,
let me see what's playing because something is. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. There we go. I think it's working now. My web stuff is being really, really strange.
Yeah, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Christine's using tinfoil for her internet right now.
It's okay. I guess. I mean, I think we're in an hour anyway, so
we are. We're basically at an hour, so we can just take this plane for a landing. You are glitching all over the place, so I don't know if you just want to take off, and I'll just
land this plane because I think my internet can't handle us anymore.
Well, if you got to go, you can. I'll just end this thing. So, ladies and gentlemen,
I can still be here. It's just. I don't know how my internet's gonna last or not.
Yeah, you're like glitching. You're like dipping in and out of the matrix. This is kind of weird because even the camera, the picture is showing graininess and.
Oh Jesus!
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you so much for participating in Get Reelisms podcast. Tune in next week. We're gonna have more content for you. Go on getreelisms.com. Get your $20 t-shirts, Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday sale.
Yeah, sales. Yes.
Sale. So fucking pick up a shirt. Do yourself a favor. Pick up a shirt. Get a book. Get a poster. Don't be a square. Learn your film stuff. Getreelisms.com. You guys, this has been Get Reelisms podcast. Thank you. Goodbye.